Save it. Never.
Boom. Roasted.
You've
been served.
God, I hope it's just a cramp.
Welcome to the official Butthole Podcast, bringing you movies, video games, and randomness in between.
And a movie review by Carolina.
Now bringing your hosts, Scott, the Great Brandino, Gage's Rage, and Star Lamar.
Sup, girl?
Sup, girl?
Sup, girl?
What's up, girl?
So, girl.
He just does it. He nails it every
When
time.
you hear that sultry voice, you know what time it is.
It is time for the official Butthole Podcast, kicking you off with episode number 203. Welcome.
And let's give a special shout out to the Blue Collar Media Group. They're great sponsors of the Butthole Podcast, and they're also going to be bringing you an excellent production of the NFL Draft later this year, April 26th.
9th.
Ah, it's close.
You're so close. You're the 6th to my 9.
And the 6 to my midnight.
Ooh. So this
I
week,
like that one better.
we are reviewing the movie I Care a Lot.
But does she? Does she care a lot? I kind of get the feeling she doesn't give a shit about these people.
She cares about some stuff.
She cares about money that she's
Money.
making off of it.
That's
and
true.
the power she has over these people. This is a Netflix original.
Yes.
Same as a number of movies we've reviewed on the Butthole, including but not limited to Last Days of American Crime. What was the superhero movie where you took the pill?
Power.
Project
Power.
Project Power. That's a Netflix original.
Outside the Wire.
Outside the Wire, Netflix original.
Hubie Halloween.
Hubie Halloween, Netflix original. What was the name of that movie that we watched that was a listener request with the group of 4 superhumans?
Oh, yeah. That wouldn't die.
The Last.
Nope.
That movie is a Netflix
The Guard.
original.
The Old Guard.
The Old
Old
Guard.
Guard.
That's a Netflix original.
I like that one.
That one was probably.
I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but
Netflix originals have been keeping us busy throughout COVID.
yes, they have been.
And the Netflix originals are also kind of forgettable.
Specifically this one for Gage's Rage. Gage's Rage was the first one to finish this movie. He texted in the Butthole group chat something along the lines of, don't even waste your time.
He said, who picked this
Who
movie?
picked this movie?
And we broke the news to him, which if you listened a few weeks ago when we made this movie pick, it was a group pick. It wasn't one individual that did
No,
it.
I think it was
No, you definitely did not say that.
We gave it to me.
Star was shorted out.
It was my week,
Yep.
and we watched the trailer sitting right here together, and
Yep.
I said, I'll just go with this movie.
Oh.
Well, hold on. It is official. Gage did give his Happy Gilmore review, so we are officially at a 7.85.
75
Happy Gilmore?
for Happy Gilmore.
What'd you give it?
8.6.
8.6? So he
Yep.
didn't go with the 10 like we thought, or the 9.9.
No, not that movie. It's going to take a really good movie for me to give a good score.
So you'll admit that movie's not a really good movie. It's just a good movie.
It's a great movie. It's not an amazing
Oh,
movie.
so it's great. It's not really good. It's great.
It's better than good. It's a great movie.
Okay.
I would call it an 8.6 out of 10, I think.
Oh, wow. You did get raving reviews on it.
It's fitting.
Yeah.
When you give a good review for a good movie, you get great reviews on your review.
Weird how that works, huh? All works out in the end. 7.85 is not terrible. What was IMDb on it? You guys know?
Around that. It's like 7.4, I think, or 7.2, something like that.
I would guess we're lower than the audience score.
No, we're not. We're above it.
Think
7.85, we're above it.
7.0.
Yep.
For an audience score?
Yeah.
That's just,
Well-
IMDb is all people vote on there.
No,
No.
if you go and look on IMDb, it'll split it.
Yeah. There will be the critic score, and then there will be the audience
It'll be
score.
the Metacritic score.
Rotten Tomato.
Rotten Tomato gave it
Probably got a bad
6.
critic review.
Tomato meter is 62%, which I believe is a critic review.
It's certified fresh then.
The audience score. What?
Anything over
Star's
60 is
getting
certified fresh.
Is that their thing?
Yeah. Haven't you seen in the
I know
movie
it's a
trailers
Rotten Tomato.
what it says certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh.
No, I
Anything
haven't
over
seen that.
60%. So the way they do that,
Certified fresh.
yeah, is they
It's a
take
pretty
the
low
percentage
standard.
of who gave it a positive review and who gave it a negative review. Now, I don't know what algorithm goes through and decides whether a review was positive or negative, or if they have to like click liked it or didn't like it at the end of their review. Because sometimes you read it and it's like, it was good, I like this. It was bad, I didn't like this.
Then
All in the
they
same
rate it
one. But how does the computer know that's a good review, that's a bad review? They said things they liked, they said things they didn't like. But yeah, so anything over 60% is certified fresh.
What's under 60%? Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomato.
That's a good name for a movie review company.
That's a great name. We are below the audience score of Happy Gilmore.
Take a guess.
I'm going to guess like 86%.
85. You would have been close. You were close.
I was close.
You were close. 785 isn't unrealistic for it, so we'll allow it.
No, it's acceptable. And like I said, I think if I was here, I could have bumped you guys all up and gotten us into that 8.
Yeah, and like I was explaining.
Because I think I did it to you already.
Over the phone, you're like, I mean, man, come on, those scenes. I was like, okay, all right.
And just real quick, I mean, if you guys can go back and remember the first time you watched it, I know you had said
It was great.
it was great, but you had also said something that bothered me. You said that the comedy was better for a kid than you thought it was now.
Yeah.
And I think the way you meant it was like the way you remembered it as a kid was better than you like watching it now for the rating. But like the way you said it made it seem like if you just started this movie, a 9-year-old would enjoy it more than a 19-year-old. And I just don't think that's true. I think you remember it more from when you were a kid, so you thought it was funnier. But I think an adult would enjoy the movie way more than a kid would.
I would argue that if you were showing it for the first time to a 9-year-old and a 19-year-old, the 9-year-old would enjoy it. It's slapstick humor.
There's a lot of slapstick humor, but there's also a lot of sexual innuendos and adult jokes that are pretty fucking funny.
Those
you don't know when you're a kid.
Those are in all Disney movies, though. Shrek.
I mean, yeah, I don't think when he wakes up with the Asian lady, oh, you don't want breakfast? I don't think you understand.
I 100% did. I thought it was hilarious.
No,
Oh, yeah.
you just
I
love the accent. It was a funny. You don't want breakfast, but you don't understand that
I
his
was a very
girlfriend
mature
left him,
9-year-old.
and he's
Gage.
licking the intercom trying to get her to come back up, and this random Asian lady shows up. No, that's hilarious as an adult. You don't get that as a kid.
I'm pretty sure I got it, too.
I think I got it. But to further my point I was trying to make, that 85 is not a score of 8.5. It's very different from my IMDb. That's
That is
just saying
true.
85%
Of people liked
liked the movie.
Yes.
So it's the IMDb score is an actual 1 through 10, similar to what we're doing, as the Rotten Tomatoes is just shows whether it was favored by people or unfavored by people.
That is correct.
Well, now Rotten Tomatoes falls a notch in my book.
They went up a notch with a good name, and then they dropped
Drop
down
down
another
with their
notch.
stupid scoring
Yeah.
system.
But it's a good point if you're like, 90% of people who saw that movie liked that movie.
I'll probably
Doesn't-
like it.
then
Doesn't mean
it's-
it's a
yeah.
10. Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the movie's great. It means that people generally liked it. Majority of people who saw it liked it, so I'll probably like it too.
All right, you convinced me. They're back up a notch.
All right.
Half a notch. Average it out.
They half-staffed that one. Before we get into I Care a Lot, which is what you guys are here for, I have a butthole beef with Gage's Rage.
Oh, let's hear it.
If you guys listened to episode 201, Gage did a solo and then did his own podcast on his own. And it was on the Happy Gilmore and his own review on it. Now, in the review, I thought the review went well. I thought you did a really good job
Thank you.
in the review.
I
It
thought
was
there was a lot
entertaining.
of dead air space and thinking that took a lot of time for you to get to.
Well, without you fucking knuckleheads with me to fill the dead air,
That's true.
I'm just kidding.
There's a
Gage.
lot of
It's
it.
really hard to do solo podcasts. You did a good job.
No, he was solo, then he did a podcast on his own. Get it right.
Mountain Dew.
hit the sack, and then go to bed.
That's right. No, you did a good job. I was entertained. I was laughing through it. I thought you explained the movie really well. You did, however,
Did you listen?
it was like, no.
Because my review was not a movie review. My review officially transitioned.
In the movie in review.
It was the review of the Buttholes movie review.
But I was
Because
That's
when
kind
I
of a
listened
good
to
bit.
it-
We should do that whenever we do a movie that Gage doesn't like, and we're all fairly favorable on it.
Just have him
Gage
do his
should
own.
just
You
roast
guys
it.
do it, and then I roast you at the
Yeah.
end. That's what this one will be, because holy fuck was this a miserable movie. But
either
when
way,
I literally had to listen to the Happy Gilmore movie review twice because every fucking quote you guys mentioned, you fucked up every single one of them.
Well, weren't quotes.
Everyone!
They weren't quotes. We were just talking about the movie.
We didn't quote shit in the movie review.
You quoted the fucking orderly hell and the worm. It was actually Star. Can I trouble you
my
for a
God.
warm
He's
glass of
pointing the
milk?
finger.
Can I trouble you for a warm glass of shut the hell up? Now you will go to sleep or I will put you to sleep.
What did he say?
Check out the name tag, Danny.
How did I mix it up?
You're in
so
Hal's
bad?
world now. He doesn't ask for a.
You said his name was Jal.
He doesn't ask for a glass of shut the hell up. He asks for a warm glass of shut the hell up.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Do you want me to keep going?
Okay, it's a 7-6. It's a 7-6. Fine.
Even touched on Shooter McGavin, which is a criminal.
Shooter.
Choke on that, baby! I love this movie. Okay?
I know you do.
No one hated it.
What did you have to say?
We understand how passionate you are about getting these things factually accurate. The movie quotes being word for word.
I want a good quote. If you're going to quote it right.
Making sure the scenes are in sequence, right? I mean, it's all important to you.
Yes, it is.
It's one of your favorite movies. Let's take a look inside the mind of Gage's Rages podcast.
Smokes that ball the first time you see Happy hit it. You get to realize he's got some talent. Then the guys claim beginner's luck. $20, he can't do it again. Happy's like, well, all right. I mean, no problem here.
I don't think he said that.
After his ball had broken the window on the first shot of the house about 400 yards down the street, his second ball hits the lady in the head.
Wrong. The second ball hits the husband in the head.
Yep.
And then...
And she falls from the roof of that second floor. The guys are dying. The guy...
This is Gage Solo geeking himself out.
She shouldn't have been standing there. I mean...
That quote was accurate.
She shouldn't have been standing there.
She didn't say it.
I know.
He shouldn't have been standing there. Then the wife came out after the husband got hit and fell off the roof.
Yes.
These things matter.
Okay.
Can we just agree that they don't?
Yeah.
I think it would be better, rather than trying to point out all these little things that we did wrong, just agree that, sometimes we don't remember the exact quotes at the exact series of events, and it's okay.
You hurt my
the movie.
feelings.
All right, Star, you go ahead and settle, okay?
But goddamn it,
not
we get
about
close.
that. You can't do that for the whole Butthole podcast.
All right, fine
You
then.
can settle all you want.
We all fall short sometimes. Your quote on that movie fell a little short. Our quotes fell a little short.
Every quote that you ever tried fell short.
So I Care a Lot stars Rosamund Pike, famous for her roles in James Bond, Die Another Day.
That's it. That's the beef? No more? Just the one fucking
Yeah, that's it. Next.
10 seconds?
On to the real movie review.
That was it. Yeah.
Okay.
Also has Isa Gonzalez, who's in Baby Driver and Hobbs and Shaw.
And you should follow her on Instagram as
You
well.
should follow her on Instagram. 'Cause she's top 5 rocket of all time. Gage is shaking his head. He doesn't follow her on Instagram. I'd be willing to bet that.
I'm going to hold my tongue.
You don't want
As
her
well
to?
as Peter Dinklage.
I did not take any Instagrams into the account of my score.
All right.
Neither
that's-
has Star, but
And they're my score and your score for a reason, because it's our own damn opinion. I can base it on whatever the fuck I want to, Gage.
Now I understand how you guys got 7.5 for Happy Gilmore. You base it on whatever the fuck you want.
So the
well,
movie
okay.
starts
In
out-
our defense, Isaac Gonzalez is much more photogenic than Adam Sandler. Okay, it's just the facts.
It's the camera technology. It got better over 30 years. Sue Adam Sandler.
Movie starts out in a old folks' home with a disgruntled young man going in trying to see his mother, and they won't allow him in. A scene is caused. He gets arrested, goes to court. In that courtroom, Rosamund Pike's character shows up as the basically conservator, guardian, legal guardian of this old lady. And she gets these people through collusion with doctors who write that they are no longer capable of taking care of themselves and need professional guardianship. So it's these doctors who are giving troublesome patients, maybe not necessarily needing to have the guardianship, but they're just trouble for them. They're kind of cash cows. If they have some money, it's better for it. They basically kidnap them without contact with their family or the outside world, put them in these old folks' homes who are also in on the gig, and sell their house, sell their belongings, make a bunch of money off of it. It's essentially kidnapping in plain sight of vulnerable seniors, right?
Yep, definitely.
And the judge is not in on it per se, but is
He's naive to it.
naive.
He's oblivious
to it.
to it, yeah.
He thinks that this girl is just doing her job and cares a lot, and the family will never make the right decision for him because they have a personal relationship
Attachment,
and a personal attachment. And in some of these cases, you can't have a personal attachment. It has to be an outside source that becomes the guardianship.
Mr. Feldstrom, I do this because I care.
Yep, that's a line, and that was a correct line from the movie.
Possibly.
I got no corrections on this movie.
So she gets a phone call from her her hookup at is it an old folks home, or is it assisted living, or is it for crazy people, specifically crazy people?
That doctor seemed like an old folks home doctor.
It seemed like it was just for old people,
Yeah.
but maybe they had special care areas for people who needed special attention and stuff like that.
For surely.
Gets a phone call from him, says, good news, bad news. Bad news, one of your clients died, and we're not making money off of them anymore. Not because they died was it bad, because they're going to lose all the money, and they have to pay for the funeral and all that stuff out of their pocket. Good news is, because we had technical difficulties, they go after a girl that they shouldn't. They think she has no family and lots of money. So they go to take her. She says, no, I'm fine. She goes, I have a doctor's note. You're coming with me. They take her in. They take away her phone. They give her a place to stay. She wants to call her lawyer. She wants to call her. And they said, no, you can't have your phone. Like, you're ours now, bitch, basically. They're trying to be nice to her. She doesn't really know what's happening to her. Later on, there's someone goes to her house, knocks on the door, taxi cab driver. He says, where is she? They said she doesn't live here anymore. He just left. They're getting the place ready to move. He goes to Peter Dinklage's character and tells her, oh, you're not meeting with her today. He has a box of donuts. I hope it's donuts so Gage doesn't get mad at me. If it wasn't, maybe it was croissants. I don't fucking know.
Croissant.
And that dude was scared out of his mind going to Dinklage to let him know.
Yeah, to tell him. We don't know their relation at the time or anything, just that he was supposed to meet with this lady and they couldn't. So then they said, you didn't figure out where she is? You didn't think of where she is or ask any questions? He's like, I didn't think anything. I'll figure it out. He goes and figures it out. She's getting kept at the old folks' home, and this person is now her conservator. They send their lawyer to go have a talk with Miss Rosamund Pike. He's the typical, stereotypical, like, shiesty lawyer guy. Goes in there, tries to make a deal. Rosamund Pike throughout the movie was hitting her vape pen like a classic villain might smoke a cigarette. Definitely not as cool.
Such a douche move.
It looked like she was just like Cruella de Vil is who I was picturing
Totally.
with her cigarette. But she had to, and it wasn't like a normal vape pen. It was like the big ass ones with like a battery charger, like a Nintendo hooked to the vape.
It looked like Cruella de Vil's fucking cigarette pipe thing from the movie.
That's what it was reminding me, but it's so big. It's
You
like,
could fucking plug in a rumble pack in the back of that bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
So they kind of were going at it head to head. Basically, at first it was, who are you? What's going on? And it turned into, I know what the fuck you're doing. I'm here to offer you money. If you don't give me money, we're going to make your life a living hell. He's like, I'm not saying we're going to kill you, but
We're gonna
make you not alive.
Yeah.
Is what he said.
Yeah.
Something along those
He
lines.
was real subtle about it, too.
Yeah. It's like, you know how it is when you're alive? You won't be like that anymore.
That's pretty much how it was said.
So shit starts to go down. They actually send people to go break the old lady out of the old folks' home.
It's like the whole crew.
I think prior to that, she actually had to sit down with her guidance thing, and she was on all the drugs. And she said, "Do you know this lawyer? Do you know these people?" And was like bringing them up, and she's on drugs and just starts laughing. She's like, "You're in so much trouble." So we're at that point in time, we're clued on to the fact that these are powerful people. That
The lawyer also offered her, what,
250,000,
something like that.
and she said she wants $3 million or something.
Yeah, I think 5.
$5 million.
Yeah.
She jacked it up.
And
I
he
don't
said-
remember things correctly from movies.
Yeah, he said no, and then you're going to regret not taking the deal.
Yeah. The breakout is unsuccessful because her and her lover show up and do some karate on these gangsters.
It's the heroic duty, actually, of the rent-a-cop.
Is it?
Yeah. You don't remember? So the rent-a-cop, for some reason, a cop at an old folks' home has a gun. Like, why would that guy have... He's not even a cop. He's more of a security guard. Like, what's going to go on at this old person's home that you need to pull out your gun and shoot somebody?
He doesn't even have as much power as campus security.
And he somehow has a pistol, and then I think he ends up killing one guy. And then he shoots another one, and as he gets shot, he shoots back and ends up hitting... Or no, the second guy shoots the security guard. But then the security guard, as he's going down, shoots and ends up hitting a gas can or an oxygen tank and fucking flies around and then smokes the other dude in the head. So now two of the three villains they're donezo.
And the one guy gets outside with the old lady and gets
Yes.
clotheslined.
Taxi driver guy. The guy that was going to pick her up.
Yeah.
Best line of the movie. Do you remember it?
No.
He said, "I'm willing to die to get her out of here. Are you willing to die to stop me?"
With them when the people first approached him.
The orderlies are standing in front of the door, or the
Oh yeah, they're locking
the
the
nurses and
entrance out.
stuff. So they all step aside. That's when he gets fucking bombarded by Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
With what, an umbrella did she take those guys out with? Or
I think it was a bamboo stick. Remember watching the explosive tables, ladders, and chairs or barbed wire fence match that Scott made us watch? Seemed a lot like that. They picked the weakest shit. She broke a stick off a branch and whacked him in the stomach.
All right, so one thing we kind of glazed over that might be important is she found a lockbox that contained a book that had a baggie of diamonds, millions of dollars of diamonds inside of it. So she
that was before the negotiation.
yeah, she knew that this person was worth a ton of money. That's when she threw out all that money.
And it was after the talk with the lady that's locked up, Mrs. Johnson. I forget what her character's name is, but
Peterson. Jennifer Peterson.
Miss Peterson. Yep. It's after the talk with Miss Peterson where the gal who's in charge of all these old people really starts to like get shook by the idea that they are serious and they will kill her.
Yeah.
And she brought it to Isa Gonzalez.
Her girlfriend?
Is that her name? Yeah. Whose name is Fran in the movie. So she brought it to her, and she wanted to take the money and run.
Yeah.
You know, start fresh somewhere else. Dinklage was like, "I don't give a shit that you're doing this. Like, honestly, I think it's cool. Like, it's a great plan." Dinklage was a douche too, but he seemed like the hero in the movie trying to get his mom out, right?
It was
So
a good role
spoiler
for
alert.
him.
Oh,
That's okay. We're going to gloss over a ton of stuff, I think, here. So there was a scene with the lawyer in court, and the main girl was able to make that lawyer seem like he was nothing because there's no linking him to the Miss Peterson. You've come to find out that Peter Dinklage is actually the son of the girl that they took in, and she only took up that moniker of who she was like 4 years prior. So it was an alias, and their Russian mafia mob
family.
group.
They've
mob
all
family.
died in a Russian mob fire
Yeah.
8 years in the past.
Yep.
So their information they got on her was completely wrong.
Yep.
And she...
The real what's it,
Jennifer Peterson died when she was
in
like,
'94 from fucking
baby.
polio
yeah,
or some sort of
before
disease.
that, but yeah.
So they created like a whole work history for 40 years for the mom, and
Made her look like a model citizen with no arrest, no nothing, no family.
she's the Russian mob's boss's mom.
And so the main girl's she has some inner monologues throughout the movie, and it seems like her driving force is money and power. Like she at one point in time got told that she doesn't deserve it or she'll never have it, and she's out to prove that she can be powerful and rich.
Do you want to? I disagree with you here. I think she's just really trying to go out there and prove men wrong.
She was a feminist.
And the theme is brought up a lot, about how many times she's been threatened by men, how many were serious, the whole time determining if this threat from this this lawyer guy is legitimate or not. They bring that up quite a bit throughout the movie.
Yeah,
that
but
is a
the
big theme.
idea of that, though, more so her feeling like men are threatened by her because she's powerful or trying to become powerful.
I don't
You know what I mean? I don't think it's as much that. I think it's more so that men are frightened of her because she's willing to do whatever it takes to become powerful. That's the way they paint it in the movie, at least.
Yeah.
She even said at one point something along the lines of, I've dealt with a lot of hymns.
Yeah, in reference to the guy in the beginning who's
Yeah.
suing her to get his mom,
Yeah.
or just to be able to talk to his mom.
Yeah.
The theme is brought on pretty early, and it's pretty heavy throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Men are kind of seen as dumb and villainous. Yeah, vicious. They're just seen as
Not to be confused with.
Voluptuous.
No, it's
Oh, sorry.
I'm pretty
Vicious.
voluptuous.
yeah. I'm thinking
viscous.
and it's not Andrew
With high levels of
Villanueva.
viscosity.
Alejandro Villanueva. Not to be considered with him.
So we'll fast forward a little bit. She gets kidnapped by the Russian mafia, and Tyrion has her tied up to a chair and is, interrogating her, trying to do it. And she's very stoic, plays badass the whole time. She never gives in, never acts afraid. And she kind of counters right before he's about to kill her and says, I'm not afraid because you want to make a deal and I want to make a deal. And I know you're willing to make a deal for your mom. They negotiate some money. He doesn't actually care. He says, let's kill her. We'll figure out a different way to do it. So they put stuff up her nose, which I didn't know if that was drugging her.
Well, Dinklage goes up to her. She's sitting in this chair, and what's a chair height when you're sitting in it? Like 3'6"?
I don't know. Right now, I'm probably
4
sitting.
4 foot. And he walks up and he's like sitting below her, and then goes to sock her in the face, and he just hurts his hand. That scene was pretty funny. Him going to go hit her, and he's just like, "Oh, okay, oh, that kind of hurt." I don't know. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
He's a short guy. Like he's a midget going up to hit her. Like it's not.
Midget, are you fucking midget shaming right
I'm
now?
not midget shaming.
You
It's
can't
just,
say that. Short person.
Whatever he is.
Is that offensive?
I think so. I think that's a bad one.
Really?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Let's
Let's
I'm
get
not
into-
short people
We're not cutting
shaming.
it. We're not cutting that. We're leaving it.
I'm just saying, like, the scene itself was funny. Like, he's this badass, but he goes up to go smoke her, and, like, he's kind of a pussy.
Is he a pussy? Is he
No.
a pussy because he's a short person?
All right.
You're shaming him right
I'm
now.
not shaming him.
Your rating of Happy Gilmore makes sense now if that's what you think is funny.
So they try to kill her.
It was actually funny,
it was
though.
a subtle
because it was
funny
supposed
thing.
to be a badass moment. It was supposed to be a badass moment, and he's
supposed
complaining
to go
about
there
how it
as
hurt.
this, like, super villain guy that's going to just, like, kill her,
This
kick
is
her
what
ass.
Netflix board meetings are like.
The head
what
of
can
a-
Brandon and Scott really get behind?
I could
Well,
go
I
on
know.
like that.
We'll get a short guy that looks like he's a bad guy, and he'll hit her.
Oh,
He
you
was
know,
a bad guy. He wasn't looking like it.
I've
He
officially
was.
found the issue with all of Netflix's original movies. They go into board meetings thinking, what can Brandon and Scott really get behind?
That's why they'll suck.
Yeah.
try to murder her. They drug her, put her in a car, throw her over a bridge. I don't know what kind of superpower she had that she woke up and was able to break out of the car, swim to the top, go to a gas station, get a phone, get some clothes, go meet up with her girl, and she wants to run. She says no. I
Oh,
can't
you're
be.
forgetting the most important part.
What's that?
Her girl was about to be blown up to
Oh
smithereens.
yeah. They went to
He
go
saved-
murder her,
She saved her.
and
The
they
gas
had all
was-
the gas on in the
As
apartment.
she's driving away, the gas
And
explodes.
Listen, I have a gas stove at home. I know how they work. When you turn it over to turn on the gas, it clicks right away. It creates that ignition. When you turn it off, it would definitely spark. There's no way it wouldn't. Absolutely would.
Should we try it?
We could try it before we leave.
So you're telling me every time you turn your burner off, it sparks before it shuts off?
Fuck if I know. I'm not an electrician.
It's gas.
There's got to be some sort of electrical current. I'm just saying, when the house is filled with gas, you're not even supposed to open a door because that could spark it. I would think turning the gas off would be enough to start it up. Like, that's extremely dangerous.
Like
to
when it
even-
goes past the ignition, you think it hits ignition again?
even just a little bit of clicking past can cause enough ignition to do that.
It is just like a starter. So when you put it on light, it's just a starter. That's what your clicking is.
And then you got to get just a little bit of gas going to get
So
it
it's-
kicking.
Yeah, the gas has to go, and then the starter hits the flame. That
I was always told if you smell gas in a house and you think it's coming from your stove, obviously if it's not a lot, turn it off. But if there's a lot, literally almost anything, plugging in, turning on a light switch can cause the whole house to blow.
yeah,
So,
yeah. It's just any spark.
And if you smell gas
Lighting
in the
the
house and
gas.
you think it's your husband, it's your moral obligation to shame the shit out of him.
Oh yeah, I agree. I've ripped major ass when I've been sleeping before, and Paige just had to wake me up to make sure I haven't shit myself.
Yeah.
Sorry to
Well, that's
totally derail you there.
that's what happens when they're like, "Oh, don't fart around me." All right, I'll hold it, but when I fall asleep, I'm a loose
good
fucking
luck.
cannon.
Brandon's gas aside,
Fucking good luck.
she goes back and she saves her girlfriend, and then she's shook. She wants to
Fair
just
point.
leave.
Girlfriend wants to dip. She says, no, we'd be looking over our shoulders for the rest of our lives. We
Let's
need
just
to
take
do
care of
something
it."
about it. That's me and you, who have no history of dealing with mafia bosses. Me and you are going to create this plan to take on
This
the
mafia for faking their own death and being these guys that have hidden under. They are so dumb.
You're
Yeah.
such a
What?
This is my biggest takeaway. There's no way all this stuff happens. There's no way Russian mobsters literally fake their own deaths, create 40 years of background on a fucking mom, steal someone's identity, do all this shit and stay hidden for how long? 20 years? A long ass
Yeah,
time?
that's wild. And
It's a
get
movie.
beat by
8 years is what I think they said in the movie.
and get beat by a conservator. And what is that?
You're shaking right
Let's
now.
get let's
You're
finish the
shaking right
movie.
now, but you're talking about your favorite movie is about a fucking bum that can hit a golf ball 400 yards.
It's a comedy and it's meant to
400
be
yards.
that way.
He goes and he wins a jacket on a PGA tour, and he's a schmuck. But this is the most unrealistic, making you shake.
Yeah.
The ninth green at 9. You know why that's not hard to remember? Because it's 9 at 9.
I almost corrected him on that.
$275,000. They say it a lot. It doesn't change.
Was it the ninth green?
I thought the first time they said it,
This
It
just
didn't
became
sound
the
like
Happy
275.
Gilmore recap.
But
So,
I
Finish this movie for the love of God, Star.
I agree with your point though. The mobsters were dumb. Like for that to happen, they drive away and she can
I
see the
didn't
light.
say that. Those mobsters are not dumb.
And no,
They're not.
they drive away and she sees the license plate. That's how she ends up finding one of the guys and figuring out where Dinklage was. They go to drive her off a cliff and they don't make sure that she's dead. That's like Mobster 101. The boss man tells you to kill somebody. You don't like shoot him in the leg and like, oh, he's gonna bleed out. No, you finish him.
You put
Double
4 fucking rounds
Double
in the head.
tap. It's Zombieland 101, man.
Yes. There's no way these girls would have taken down the mob.
No.
So
but they did.
they escape. They'd already fucking. Oh yeah. She escaped out of the fucking parking garage with Dinklage in the back seat. Goes and saves her girlfriend, right? And then they just leave Dinklage all gassed up in the middle of
the road.
nowhere. Some random fucking jogger comes along. Oh,
It might have even been her.
it wasn't her.
It wasn't?
That
No,
Jogger
it was some random
yeah.
person.
Okay, all right.
Jogger
But
comes
that was
up.
the plan.
That was what they wanted.
John
Yeah.
Doe comes into the fucking place. No identification, no nothing to identify him by, obviously, because he's a dead mobster. So they put him into a conservatorship, and guess who his guardian is? This fucking queen bitch. Comes back, and she's in charge of all his shit now. And he's pleasantly impressed. She's got a master plan, and she does everything right.
Hey,
He doesn't want his diamonds back. Those are just small potatoes. Let's partner up. Let's make this a worldwide thing.
yeah, let's make a deal.
And they do.
Of course, because it's a Netflix movie.
And this,
And then-
I got mad at this.
Cutscene. Oh, this is the part that pissed you off?
No, just the fact that they showed the whole thing about her building this brand. She's going on talk shows. She's doing all this. I was like, this bitch won. I did not want her to win. She was one of the worst people I've ever watched on a movie. Like, I wanted bad things to happen to her, and it made it look like bad things weren't going to happen to her. Boom, in comes disgruntled son from the beginning of the movie.
Scene.
She's walking out of a TV show that she was just on. He drops her name. She looks up. Bang.
Bang,
Shoots her.
bang.
His mom
Made sure
yeah.
his mom had just died.
Yep.
He didn't even get to
Couldn't
say
even
goodbye.
say goodbye.
She
Because
was
of her.
yeah, because at the beginning she wouldn't even allow him to go visit her because it caused her too much distress. So her son wasn't even allowed to say hi. Couldn't call her. They weren't allowed to have phones. So yeah, he was pissed. But man, what resolution? Struggling over there.
Yeah, it keeps falling down.
Which brings us into that's the end of the movie. That's how the movie ends.
That
She
was
gets
it.
shot. She
Yeah.
dies.
Pool of her own blood, girlfriend holding her.
There was definitely at the end there a lack of, I don't know what's the right word. I want to say resolution, but like the mom, did they really touch much on the mom after that? She played this big role. I kind of thought she was going to be more of a badass, like undercover. She's got more things going on, but after they made their agreement, she was out of it. She wasn't mentioned again.
Well, they probably went and put her in more witness protection or something.
They could have, but I mean, did they even show her getting out of the hospital or the?
No, it was all just assumed off camera. They
Yeah.
made the deal.
They made the deal. She
He
became
gave her back.
massive.
Dinklage
national-
disappears and you don't hear about him at all.
He's
Roman
he's
Luminol.
just
taking in all
making
the
a
money.
bunch of money. Yeah,
Yeah,
it worked exactly how he wanted. She was the front runner for all the stuff, and he just got to make a pile of cash
Yeah, he was funding it.
for the
Basically.
kickback.
Yeah.
It literally took it from for me. This movie was in the negative. Like from the first 5 minutes, I could have told you it was a Netflix produced movie within the last 2 years. I mean,
What did you hate so much about it?
I mean, right away the theme, like I mentioned, all
Yeah,
the
you
men,
hate women, I know.
all of the men were literally very stupid, unintelligent, or
Villainous.
bad intentions. Yeah. Like, even when they weren't just bad people,
You're a misogynist.
they were dumb. Like the fucking judge. There was nothing wrong with the guy. He's just completely oblivious to this shit show that they got going on under his nose.
Yeah.
The son that just wants to see his mother. Oh, he's a horrible fucking piece of shit for whatever reason.
But he's not.
Well, yeah,
That was
he is.
the-
He killed her at the end.
But the whole point of it was that he
No,
wasn't, and
yeah,
she
no,
was a
dude.
horrible, terrible
Yes.
person.
Yeah.
And she
I
played
hated
that
it
role
the whole time.
She played that role really well. Like you were supposed to hate her.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to like her. If you liked her,
Cunt with a hard T. So yeah, she is definitely got the hard T, and I just didn't like the way Netflix produced movies shove this sort of agenda down your throat. It definitely reflected on the movie for me personally. Those are just my 2 cents.
And it was from the very start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
There was strong themes throughout the movie.
Exactly.
Was this a good role for Peter Dinklage? I thought it was a good role for him to play.
Can we call him the Mad Elf from Buddy?
You're an angry little elf.
That's a funny ass fucking. I forgot he played that. The big time author who gets in a fight with Buddy the Elf because he's a hothead.
So what I was going to bring up earlier, the movie The Joker, or Joker, I don't know if there's a the,
Joker.
at the end of that movie when he's on the talk show and he pulls the gun out, as an audience member, I was rooting for him to pull the trigger. As a human being, I don't think I'd ever root for anybody to pull a trigger in a situation like that. If I was watching on TV and on Jay Leno or at Kimmel, any of them, if this was happening, I'd be like, what the fuck? That person's crazy. Stop this. But the movie changed my mindset so much and was like, yeah, kill him. Do it. And this movie had that same effect on me at the end of it when that gun came out. I was like, do it. Get her. Kill her now. I know they're fake scenarios, but I think the movie did a good job in like completely rewiring my brain and wanting her to die, where in a real situation, if I was a bystander on the street, I would never do that. You know, just knowing how much I hated her and how much she made me sick. I just wanted her to get taken out.
Well, context is king, right? So
Yeah.
in the name of the movies, Joker, for instance, you see him being beat down his entire life and never given a chance. He gets spit on in the railway system, beat down by the upper class, whatever it might be. In this movie, it was completely poetic justice that at the very end of the movie, as she achieves her goals that she wants to get for herself, this guy the movie comes full circle, and by the end she ends up getting shot by the same guy that she fucked over right away in the movie. It does completely rewire your brain, but seeing all the things that she does throughout the 2-hour movie make you by the end of it be like, fucking kill this bitch.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't think there could have been really a better ending to that. I don't know what else could have done unless Dinklage.
I mean, the last
got
20
her.
minutes could have been better. But
I would
the
agree.
The very ending is what I wanted.
The sad
I feel
thing
like
is,
the movie would have been a better movie if they would have shortened the entire thing by about 20 minutes, too. I think it got a little bit drug out second half of the movie, and they could have shrunk it down a little bit.
And again, no resolution for the mom, really, in my opinion, which turned me off a little bit. But I'm ready to give my review.
Let's do it. Let's get into review scores.
All right. I gave it a 6.5.
6.5. Star Lamar?
I gave it a little higher than that. I did go into it with low expectations because of the text, and that might have made my score a little higher because I was like, this isn't bad. Like this, I feel like it's something that potentially could be in theaters on a not COVID year. You know, the quality of the production I thought was there as far as the cameras and stuff like that. It reminded me of who directs David Fincher, The Social Network, like his style of direction and
yep.
filming and stuff like
And
that.
she did win, a Golden Globe?
Yeah, she won a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Drama for it, and she
For
was
that movie.
for that movie. Yeah, yeah. So I'm giving it a 7.1. It's not by any means the best movie I've ever seen, but if you have 2 hours to kill, I don't think it's a bad thing to do. It's gonna piss you off, but
Definitely going to piss you off.
I
that's
gave
the
it
point.
a 6. I'll give it a 6.7, and I'll just leave it at that. Gage's Rage, give it your review score.
I'll give you a lot lower than you guys. Like you said, it was for me. It was like a negative movie until the ending. Then that ending really brought it into the positives. I wasn't a fan. I'm at like a 4.7.
4.7. Which actually, I think gives it right around that fake website, IMDb's score. They give it a 6.2. But the score that really matters, the butthole score, the score that's going to touch your heart appropriately, is a 6.25.
Boom. We're right in line with it. 3 out of the 4 of us like it. The 4th doesn't dig it really at all, which is probably about average for the movie, for the reviewers.
Well, I'm excited to announce the next movie, my movie.
Ooh.
I think you might like this one a little bit better. I don't know if you've seen it, but you probably have. Scott?
I don't
Maybe.
think I have.
It's like 40% chance that he has.
I don't think I have.
I know Star has. This was a classic for me growing up. This is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. I watched it a ton growing up. It's the movie. You'll find it on Amazon Prime Video, Accepted. Have you seen that before, Gage?
Trying to think.
It's
Give
got
us the rundown of it.
It's about a
the
dude who-
synopsis.
Getting accepted into college, I'm guessing.
no. That's the
he
thing.
doesn't get accepted into college, so he gets this big plan to start his own college to fool his parents
His
into thinking that he goes to college.
one of his buddies broke his leg. A football player lost his scholarships. One of his female friends only applied to Yale.
Their sister campus deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
The South Harmon Institute of Technology, the shits.
Ask me about my wiener.
Yes, that one. So they end up taking over, what was it, like an insane asylum, and turning it into a campus. And the parents are all tricked into giving tuition to them, and a bunch of students go there. It's super funny movie. Got Justin Long in it. He's also in
Fresh Off Dodgeball.
Yeah, Dodgeball. He's also in that other one, The Server.
Waiting.
He's in that one as well. Young Blake Lively is in it too. So can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with that. Watch it on Amazon Prime.
Young Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Real big Jonah Hill.
Before the weight loss and then before putting it back on.
Back when he was funny.
Well,
I think he's still funny.
He's playing more serious roles.
22 Jump
funny
Street.
You're fat. Fat guys can't be skinny.
That's why I
and
can't
funny.
lose weight.
Well,
you gotta start being funny though.
Damn.
all right. With that,
Go jerk off.
Check out our website, www.officialbutthole.com. We're on all socials at officialbutthole. Please leave us a rating and review on Apple Music, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. That's gonna bang hard.
Say it one more time.
And we will see you next Tuesday.
I'm glad I went with your version.
yeah, Gage and I were talking about it. He's like, man, she was a cunt with a hard C. It's like, I'm pretty sure that's not how it goes.
Well, that's